Marco,
Sean,
I feel blurry.
I feel random and confused.
I can't. I'm confused and unscripted. I don't know why I can't unblur my camera. It's really strange.
I don't know why my camera actually doesn't work. So we
Yeah.
have a camera issue. We
There
just
we go.
finished a podcast now, and it actually was an audio podcast, but
Yeah.
the camera was working perfectly.
Worked fine on both. Yeah.
That tells you technology just has a mind of its own, and
It
it's
does.
just having fun with us.
It does.
The point is, are we having fun with technology?
I think so. It hasn't blurred my face yet, which many might want it to do, but it's only blurring my background.
I don't know, man. It's all about video. The more we look into that video, I'm not getting any younger, but maybe I'll wear a hat more often. I don't know. Anyway, we're not here talking about ourselves. This is Random and Unscripted. We have it on the calendar now on every Thursday, maybe publishing on Thursday or Friday with a recap of what happened during the week. So then why don't we just get to the point? Talk about technology.
I'm going to say something on my mind, which I think has been something that's crossed your mind. We had a conversation with a good friend this morning. The three of us talked about it. It's been in my personal life. It's been on my show. Just this idea that, and I think we even published some things on it, the idea that AI is kind of taking the humanness away of things. I think you put a newsletter out saying we're getting dumb. In an episode I did on redefining
Talk about yourself.
I know you said I'm getting dumber. But I had Andy Ellis on, legendary CISO. And we talked about all kinds of things, but just this idea that because we have technology, we can't rely upon it. We have to actually still have conversations, right, with each other. And we can't just, somebody asks a question, turn to AI and ask the question and then respond with the AI answer in real life. Maybe we'll get there. And I don't know if that's a good thing.
I hope not.
But I guess the point is, and in Andy's point during the episode, one of many that he makes, by the way, the board doesn't know what questions to ask. The CISO doesn't know how to answer the questions. The team doesn't know how to operate and build and communicate with the CISO. So that whole chain of communication just kind of gets bogged down. And I don't know. I think I have another piece I'm going to be writing around metrics. And I think I talked about it in one of my previous articles as well. Just, do we know what success even means or looks like?
Well, maybe you want to ask AI about that.
That's my whole point. The AI is telling us what it looks like, and then we're measuring against that, and who knows if it's right or wrong or good or bad.
Well, that was exactly what we talked about last time in our last articles about, both of our articles about Black Hat, where I talked about the paradox that where we lose the ability to not only to take action if we give it to agentic AI, but also to think clearly, because we ask the questions and we ask the answers to AI, which is just feeding this this loop of creating a certain echo chamber. And trust me, we're going to be screwed. And that's actually what we talked about today. It's like, in a way, I can... Actually, we talk about that also with the podcast we were before. Like when people start in cybersecurity by breaking computer, assembling computer, cables, and you kind of have a sense of what you're dealing with, right? Like, how does it work? It's not just about, electricity is easy. I just turn on and off the light. Well, but there are actually cables in the wall and... and connected to the grid and all of that. And we lose that touch with reality where we go back to something being magic again. And that's the fear. Well, if at least older people like us experience that, I'm not concerned about losing my brain over AI because I still treat it as a tool. But I'm afraid that a lot of the new generation may find themselves treating it with a little bit too much more than just a tool, but that may be a conversation for something else. Anyway, that sounds an interesting thing. And talking about electricity, I actually I published an interesting episode on redefining society technology about the electric car and why we're not there yet. I talked with Matt Larson from Sweden, and he was talking about the fact that maybe we need an Apollo program, because upgrading to an electric car is not like upgrading our computer. That you upgrade the software, and all of a sudden we have electric vehicles all over. You need the infrastructure, you need the recharging, you need everything that we've been creating for a long time, and we need pretty much government to step in and help financing that. I don't know. That's a stake.
I can look at the evolution of computers, and I'll just pick, because we had an episode earlier about networking and the transformation of networks and ISPs and telecoms and all this stuff. And I remember when you have to buy a separate device and plug it in to your laptop to get a Wi-Fi connection. And why? Well, obviously the technology was there. It just wasn't built into the device and into the ISP infrastructure to where they can handle the scale and all this stuff. So there's a lot of stuff, I'm sure, there, but similar with cars, right? So the car itself works. The dongle for Wi-Fi worked. It's just the surroundings around that technology also.
Yeah, that's exactly spot.
And the need.
The Apollo program worked, but it cost so much money. It was a lot of money put in from government, financed, in order to achieve that goal.
Which is why I was like,
Well, but at the same time, if we're not making a step, like why people are not buying an electric car right now is because it doesn't charge fast enough. Well, we're getting there. I just heard it today in the news that there are this super powerful charging now, but if I cannot get to that, I remember you rented it. You rented an electric car one day, and you called me and like, hey, I have to kill an hour. I'm recharging the car. Let's get some work done. I'm like, that's not how you're going to sell. So we need that infrastructure to be there. But anyway, interesting conversation. I honestly suggest people to actually listen to it.
That was connected to an event, right?
This one, no. This
Okay.
is actually a business consultant in Sweden, and I talked to him way back, so it's an older episode. So interesting perspective. Well, and of course, somebody may agree, somebody may disagree, but still, because of that, worth it to be listened to.
There you go.
What else did you talk about this week?
Well, that was kind of the main thing. We did a webinar around backup and resilience with team at Object First, and I think sometimes simplicity can make all the difference. And I think that was kind of the main point that I drew out from the conversation, that there's a lot about backup, what's being backed up, how often, where. I guess the main point from the team at Object First, Anthony more specifically, is that it needs to be immutable, right? If you're going to rely on it, you need to know that it has integrity and hasn't been changed, and that it's there, hasn't been deleted. And just that simple thing, if not thought about properly, can leave you exposed. You might think you're safe and resilient until something happens and you realize you're not. So it was a great conversation, some good stats in there. I wrote an article around that, kind of looking at how bad actors are attacking the backups, because they know if they can compromise the backup, they can hold the company for ransom. So an important topic, interesting topic. Good to have Anthony on to have that conversation.
I think I went a little philosophical there.
You did?
I compared the backup to the metaphor of the river, that you never step in the same river twice. Well, right. In the case, because it changed, the water isn't. You also, if you want to go philosophical, you're also not the same person when you step into the river. It's not just a river. That is not. But the point is that in cybersecurity, actually having something that is immutable, that's actually the key of the whole conversation. That gives you the guarantee that you can actually go back and get your data. And
exactly.
That's not a bad thing. So we'll have the link here on the.
I didn't go in there in the webinar. I'll say it now. You're also, as I get a call, you're also stepping into the river that potentially others have stepped in prior to you. So
We'd
think
also
about that for a
change
second.
the
That changed the river.
So there you go.
Exactly.
Well,
That's coming from my hiking mindset. So there you go.
yeah. You want to be in a river where you kind of see where it's coming from.
Especially if you're going to drink from it. All right.
I wasn't gonna go there. You
All
did.
right. Let's go.
You went there.
I went there.
All
But
right.
you did something. Let's switch it because we only have a minute left here. Let's switch it to the events because I'm excited about what we're working on for that. And I know you did something connected
Well,
to it.
yeah, I talked to Mark Smith, which is one of the manager, the company that works with creating the IBC event in Amsterdam, which has been going on for many, many, many years. The first edition was in 1967, and for people who are not familiar with that, it's all about broadcasting and entertainment industry. So they go to, it's kind of like a specialized CES where you only have that aspect of that kind of technology, but it's massive. It's seen like a lot of changes, and we actually end up talking a lot about content creators, streaming, 5G, and how technology has changed the way that we interact with technology. We create technology, and it's definitely a different scenario than the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. So a very interesting conversation, fantastic event. I'm going to try to go there if I am in Europe at the time because it's in September. And that I think it can pivot into talking about the fact that in the last 2 days we've been rebuilding our calendar on ITSP Magazine for on-location coverage to really expand on the event that we're gonna cover either in person or remotely, because hey, that's technology. We can do that.
Exactly.
And so they're excited about it.
Yeah, I am excited. I think they're the traditional big names of events from a cyber perspective that we've covered for a decade now, right? And few of them around the world. There are many others that have different spins on cyber, either different sectors or different ways of looking at it from a detection and response perspective. Lots of different things to explore there. But I'm even more excited about the broader tech.
Yep.
Because I think that's where things really get interesting. Kind of the CES around the world and like VivaTech and others.
CES, the VivaTech, but also the more niche event. I'm talking, and I'm saying niche, and I'm not saying it's small, but like more focus on a topic like gaming, virtual realities, mobile tech, communication, like in this case, and broadcasting, broadbanding, and of course, music.
Right.
If I don't go at NAM this year,
you got to do NAM this year. Of course,
if I'm not gonna go at NAM, I'm gonna be pissed.
You're gonna smash a guitar.
I don't know if they give me one for
there
sure.
You go. You're gonna smash their guitar.
I'm not gonna smash mine.
No, but
I'm excited.
Yeah, to that point, I think there are music and other types of events, but other focused like HIMSS, AI, and healthcare. I went to, which was pretty interesting. I have a couple articles I'm working on for that. Legal Week, which is legal tech, which found some interesting things from how the law firms and lawyers are using technology.
Yep.
So I wrote a piece on that.
And don't make me forget cars again, because I actually was talking to one of our friends, and we may be connecting with In Cabin and a few other events that talk about security in cars and autonomous vehicles and all of that. So I think the call to action here for people listening is, of course, catch up with all the podcasts we had, see where we're starting to link in terms of events that we're going to go. But if you do have an event that you think we should cover, we'll be happy to, if it is in line with, of course, the scope of our conversation, to offer a complimentary episode that talks about the event. Of course, we got to be selective, but give it a go. Maybe we didn't know about it, and get us in touch. If you're one of the organizer or you know the organizer, let us know. Drop a note. Go contact us on the website or on LinkedIn, and we'll go from there.
Yep. I have a lot more to say, but no time to say it.
All right.
So I'm going to say that's it.
Done.
And we'll update everybody again next week, and I'll share some other news that I have.
It's on the calendar.
Very good. It is on the calendar. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.